warrior, fascia release party. Fascia is a part of the body, connective tissue, that's underneath the skin, connecting to deep muscle. It can be massaged. Hey guys, welcome to my next yoga class. I'm going to be focusing on myofascial release and some yin poses. So while having Lyme disease, my muscles and my connective tissue, also known as fascia, have become very shrunk together, glued together. I have a lot of like spasms, and I just don't feel like my body's like open the way it used to be. So my favorite way to kind of open up these crunchy spots that we don't even know are there is by doing a bit of yin plus toning. I would say that's a little bit more advanced than some other classes, but I would offer this up to anyone that can practice on their hands and knees or feet comfortably. But there are poses for everybody in between. So my first pose I'm going to do a lunge. I'm using 2 blocks, putting them on the highest height, about shoulder width distance apart. I'm going to come onto my knees, tuck my toes, bring my right foot in between the blocks, then keep my toes tucked and wiggle my foot long. And then allow the knee to drop down and tuck the toes. And I'm definitely already feeling the entire front of my hip opening up. If you want to go deeper in this pose, you can lower down onto the blocks. But don't think about like crunching forward with your body. Think about making one nice kind of curve here. And you should be able to feel the stretch even going into your inner hip. Make sure you're breathing. I'm going to stay here for a few more minutes. See if you can inhale your shoulders up, exhale, bring them onto your back. Inhaling, shoulders curl up, exhale, roll them down your back body and lift the front of your head up. Find your breath and the softness. And you'll notice every time you breathe, your body releases a little bit in different places. Slowly start to tilt your hips back towards your foot. And then just come to a comfortable seat. A nice cross-legged seat. Palms come onto the thighs, face up. Lengthen up through your spine. Take a nice inhale. Breathing deep into your belly. Notice if you feel a difference between the left hip and the right hip. We're going to move to the second side. So this time your left foot's coming up in between the blocks. I like to start on the highest height and work my way down. Pick up your back leg. Wiggle your toes as long as you can. Drop the back knee and tuck the back toes and make sure you kind of press into the top of the back foot as you slowly start to sink your hips forward and down. Remember lifting up through the chest, rolling the shoulders back. And my arms are starting to get tired. So if you want, you can even come down onto your elbows, or you can come down onto the ground, onto your hands, onto your elbows, if that works for you. I like to stay a little bit lifted up. I feel like I'm getting more out of the pose. And it's okay to kind of fidget with the blocks because it's going to feel different moment to moment. So if you need to move them around, go ahead. Tilt the hips back, slowly coming out. And then find your way to a comfortable seat. This time we're going to have the legs extended. Just shake them out. Flex the toes back towards you. See if you can take your fingers, or if you don't have one, you can use a belt across the pads of the feet. And we just want to get your toes flexing towards your body, and it stretches the back of the leg, which can be tight and a hard place to get to. So I like to kind of just hold on, and I might be arching slightly, and that's okay for now because I'm focusing on my feet and my legs. Find your deep breath. Notice if you're feeling any growth or release. And make sure you know the difference between discomfort and pain. You don't want to feel like a sharp shooting pain that could injure you. But if you feel uncomfortable, that's normal. We're trying to get outside our comfort zone without pushing towards the limit of injury. And only you really know the best way for your body. Just keep that in mind while we're practicing. Slowly coming up on an exhale. I'm going to cross the legs. Interlace the fingers behind me. So there's a few options. I interlace my fingers. I don't cross my thumbs, and I kind of just put it at the base of my sacrum. My elbows can be brought back as if they're going to touch, and that really opens my chest. So if this feels okay, and you'd like to, you can extend your arms, find your length, lift up to the head, maybe tilt the head back and get a nice open chest area. Dog. We're first going to get into tabletop. So hands and knees, and practice this if you're not ready for downward dog. If you are, walk one palm print forward, tuck your toes under, and use your legs to lift along with your core. And keep your knees bent. You'll most likely feel that all of your weight is on your wrists, but if you keep your knees bent and kind of hop here, think about drawing the navel in towards the spine and drawing the belly back towards the thighs. So now that I'm kind of pushing the mat away, and I'm going to pedal out one heel at a time. If you have any neural symptoms, you can keep your head up like I am, or if you'd like to, you can drop your head in between your arms. Remembering to breathe, feeling that stretch again against the back of the leg. Your calf muscles opening up and the fascia around them. So, we're going to come down to child's pose. So big toes touch, knees come out to a wide V. And then you're going to drop your head down, arms reaching nice and long. And just take rounds of deep breath into the belly. Let yourself be really soft. Slowly come back up. Find a comfortable seat. Lengthen the spine. So now I'd like you to use a block. It's pretty necessary for this next pose. If you don't have one, you could possibly try like a book or something. But I'd much prefer you guys to use a block. So I talk a lot about the anatomy of our muscles in my last video. Kind of the back muscles starting at the base of the skull where our hairline is about. So I stole this from a very good teacher, Tiffany Cruikshank. She uses the block on medium, and she puts it directly behind her head. This is lying down. And she kind of finds that crest where the neck meets the base of the skull. You can kind of feel it with your fingers. And she kind of tucks the corner, so the very ridge of the block, against that. And then this is also lying down. I'm just showing you here. So from here, you're going to look all the way to your right as far as you can. To stay there for a few seconds. And you'll feel kind of pressure on the muscle, maybe moving down the neck. In the next part of the series, you're going to look about halfway back to center. And you should feel like another little ridge that you found.